From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.
Seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore for Wednesday, Hump Day, new comic book day. May 19th, 2021. You realize we're almost halfway through the year? And compared to last year, we're relatively okay. I think that's something to be celebrated. So give yourself a victory lap today. You got this far. So anyway, thank you for being here this morning. Hope you're having a great middle of your week. I know I am, and we got some news, and we got some great news. But anyway, to start out with great news is we want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network for buoying up this show, for keeping us going and inspiring us, and hopefully inspiring you to be a little more creative and to push your creative career forward. We've got your entertainment and your information covered 7 days a week, from Comics, Chaos, and Sass with Heather Ellen, all the way to the Historical Fencing Guild on Friday nights at 8 p.m. with Nick Tockard, and Saturdays we've got Stupid O'Clock. We've got this show, and hopefully you caught last night's Clever Tile Pending with the amazing Cindy Kep, and we've got some good news about her this morning. But anyway, please check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and please give the Facebook page a like, because we'll give you all kinds of news there. Also want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support your favorite creators, and I hope I'm one of them. Anyway, these people like me, and I hope you do too. So please consider going to Patreon and becoming one of my patrons. Only $1 a month gets you a look at my once-a-week blog called Every Blog Deserves a Name. Also, the $5 a month level have gotten advanced views of a work in progress. And the $10 levels, they got to see my brand new book. They got a copy of Snow Shorts, number 4, Snow Ambition, an Abraham Snow adventure by me, featuring the great characters created by the award-winning author, Bobby Nash. Anyway, he's a good guy, and this is a good book. I'm very proud of it, and we hope that you enjoy it. It's only 99 cents right now on Amazon, so check it out if you would, please. Also, please consider becoming my patron, and you can do that you get more information at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris, or DM me on Facebook for more information. Also want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. That's the thing that pulls a casual onlooker into becoming your customer, maybe even your super fan. So get the very best in covers from Jeffrey Hayes. He did the snow cover here which I think is absolutely amazing. And he's also done the cover for my upcoming book, The Terrors, which my Patreon people know all about. But anyway, please check out plasmafiregraphics.com. Also check out their Facebook page, Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Anyway, thank you all for being here. And thank you last night for coming out for Cindy Cap. CKOEPP.com. Sign up for her newsletter. She was a lot of fun last night. We had a great time telling jokes and asking her about her incredible campaign for Animal Eye. And I do want to put this up on the screen for just a little bit. Share screen, Chrome tab, Animal Eye. Excuse me, share audio. And there's that. And we are going to, that's the wrong page. We're going to hit this one and we're going to add this to the stream and give the full page there. Last night, Cindy moved the needle quite a bit on this campaign. She is now, you'll notice, she is going for $3,400. She is within $29 of reaching her goal. Who's going to help her do it? If you didn't see the show last night, check out this video. I'm going to pop this up a little so we can see it better. And I want to take a moment and run this if you don't mind. I think you'll be enticed by it.
What if you could see the world like an animal? What if you could soar like a bird? Detect faint smells like a dog? What if a video game allowed you to play an animal character in a unique fantasy setting? What if a comic book series put you in such a video game setting, telling the story from the point of view of animal companions to human characters? Welcome to the world of Animal Eye. This comic book series will follow the adventures of 3 animal characters, Ala the crow, Nagid the dog, and JL the bear. Many fantasy stories feature animal helpers to human characters, especially horses or dogs, but sometimes birds like falcons, or in the case of Animal Eye, a crow. Fantasy-based video games do this as well at times, with human or demi-human player characters in the role-playing video game, with animal assistants in the game available to the main characters as what are, in effect, non-player characters. The Animal Eye story world flips this dynamic on its head. In Animal Eye, the video game player characters are the animals, and the non-player characters are the humans the animals assist. Join playtesters Ken May and Jake as they become Ava the crow and Nagid the dog. In Issue 1, each must find a human companion to guide them on their adventures. Ava finds Aussie, Bakari tribesman, archer, and herbalist. Baron Raphael Dorcas, who wields a sword and a flintlock pistol, teams up with Nagid. In the world of Animal Eye, demented monsters are attacking settlements, including Aussie's family. Join Ava and Aussie as they come to JL's aid in a fight against the maniacs. Join Baron Raphael and Nagid as they undergo a parallel adventure battling demented maniacs. Issue 1 lays the groundwork for a unique comic book series in 6 issues, adapted from the novel Animal Eye by Cindy Kep. An adventure is beginning, an adventure you can join with your support, an adventure where you can become the animal.
All right, pretty cool, huh? Anyway, like I said, we moved the needle last night for Cindy. I'd really like to see her get the rest of her reach her goal, get the rest of her money by the end of the show, if at all possible. So we'll be posting the link to her campaign. In fact, I think I've still got it from last night. There we go. And I do. There we go. And we'll get to your comments in just a moment here after we do a little business for Cindy. And the reason I'm doing this one is she's a wonderful lady. I think she is universally adored on here, as well she should be. Anyway, the Rising Tide Publications endorses her. Please check out Animal Eye. Follow this link if you would, and give her some love. Or go to Kickstarter and look up Animal Eye or Cindy Kep, Koepp. And let's get her over the top this morning. But she does so much for this community. unselfishly, and I'd love to see her get her love back, because that's what Rising Tide does and what it's about. And thank you to everyone who has given her some love so far. And good morning to Teresa Dunn, first in the door at 9:30. Mwah, good to see you, hun. Good morning, Brian and Nevermorian. The early bird is up and busy writing, so have a great day. You do the same. And I'll be here in just a minute. Well, we'll wait for you, Michaela. You're worth waiting on. Hey, ladies, good morning, everyone, says the dapper Carl Witzman. And I just finished watching Michaela's morning motivational meditations. Oh, good, you started that. Excellent. I didn't realize. I kind of slept in this morning, so I will go back and check that out. Do we add that to our schedule? Please say yes. And let's see. And the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, thank you for having me on last night. That was so much fun. Christian Basil always runs a great show, and he managed to do it without Melanie Dean. How the hell that happened? Anyway, please check out last night's episode where we talk about, it was the 25th anniversary of the 1996 television movie starring Paul McGann, who for years has suffered under the label of the George Lazenby of the Doctor Who franchise, because he did the one TV movie with Eric Roberts as the Master, and a guest appearance by Sylvester McCoy. I liked it. Of course, I've always been accused of, if it's moving on the screen, I'm enjoying it. But anyway, I found it enjoyable, and there were some of us last night that were expressing our opinions. Excuse me, especially about how well the show aged. And I think McGann, I think we all agree McGann was flawless. He was perfect for the role. And the only thing is, I wish that we would see more of him as the Doctor, because he was so good. But anyway, please check out the Legend of Traveling TARDIS last night. And anyway, I learned this morning, Michaela Jade likes some money. Well, who among us does not? And Skunk Rocker, good to have you here, brother. Morning, Nevermorian. Today's weird random factoid is brought to you by YouTube, censoring you from reality since 2004. Oh, wow. Yeah, because yeah, I'm kind of a little break here. I'm kind of enamored by the fact that like about 2 years ago, or no, it was a little longer ago than that, but about 3 or 4 years ago, YouTube decided they weren't going to have any more conspiracy theories. And which is a shame, because I really dug those shows, but they haven't done anything about like the sovereign citizens or the First Amendment auditors or any of those lame brains. Yeah, of course, a lot of them are pulling in some serious dough for YouTube, so that might be a factor. But anyway, we're glad you're here, Skunk. And Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, wow, I came in the chat and only one thumbs down and no thumbs up. Help Brian out, peeps. Thank you. Yes, please, if you enjoy what we do at all, and we hope you do, or else we'll stop doing this, we can sleep in a little more. But no, if you enjoy anything about this show, ignoring the host, if you're on Facebook, give it a like. Give this video a like, and please share it with your friends, because that helps us with the algorithms. Because we broadcast to another platform, namely YouTube, Facebook suppresses this show. And so if you're entertained by it and you think maybe your friends might be, and I promise not to embarrass you deliberately, well, just please share the show if you would. That would be so helpful. And also, if you're on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because we just passed the 500 subscriber mark, and we would like to get to 1,000, mostly in because it will help fund the show, just the way our Patreon does. And if we do that, we can make some upgrades to the show, like getting a more reliable high-speed internet, also possibly investing in some more equipment to make the show look better. So maybe get a computer that's powerful enough that we can run a green screen. In fact, one of the things I have in mind is possibly moving the computer down into our basement and setting up a little studio down there, and we could do like little tricks with green screen and all, and do some more specialized broadcasting, because we want to hire a video editor to do some specific things for us. And but anyway, that is all, and that's why we love our Patreons. We love everyone, but that's where sharing and subscribing and liking really does help us out. And even that thumbs down helps us, I think I know who it is, and I can't believe that person is that petty. And be aware that I do know who it is. And I am going, if I ever see them in person, I'm going to confront them about it very vocally. And I will embarrass them publicly. It'd be great. Hey, Brian Hawkins says, greetings, programs. Greetings to you, my friend. Hope you are doing well this morning. Glad to have you. And Christian, that's nothing new, sugar. That's right. Give the girl her money. That's it. That's it. And the Joker has appeared in 4 NetherRealm. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Wow, that is great, and the hate is strong in that one. The down thumber, yeah, but but the thing is, Carl, we bring attention to them, and they start giggling, and that's fine with me. Like I said, any YouTube recognizes any sort of interaction as engagement. So when they give me the thumbs down, it still registers as they dig what Brian's doing. So it doesn't hurt me in the least. And I find it funny that somebody goes out of their way to be such an a-hole. I think it's hilarious. I really do. And good morning to Ted Davies Artistry. Ted, good to have you here this morning. Hope you are doing well. Check out Ted's shows. He will be on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with TED Talk Sign Pieces. And then again at Friday night, where he is the co-star. Christine Davies has turned into the runaway star of the Rising Tide Friday Night Network. Well, aside from the lovely Michaela Jade and the equally lovely Nick Tockard. But no, you and Chris have really made that show amazing, and I love watching it. So check out Drinking with the Davies at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network on Ted Davies Artistry channel. It's good stuff. And Studio Games, but only in Mortal Kombat 11, was he allowed to have a proper fatal finishing move, says the Skunk Rocker. I didn't know that. That is interesting. I did not know that about the Joker. That is very cool. And listens out the window. The morning sirens. Yes. I used to live 2 blocks from a fire department in Champaign, Carl. I know your pain. It got to the point where I was kind of inured to it. And sorry about that, Brian. My phone is being stupid again. Well, that's why your phone should get an education. It should watch Stupid O'Clock. And that'll be on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. on the Joe McKeel's YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that. Joe deserves more subscribers than he's got. He really does. And also check it out Saturday night at 11 p.m. where Skunk Rocker and Joe Dog and Dan and John and Heather and usually Nick go in and talk stuff. And it's always interesting stuff. And hello and good morning, amazing people. Mwah! You must be talking to yourself again, darling. Keisha Acup, good to have you here. Hope your morning's going well. And Jeffrey Hayes, good Wednesday morning, Nevermorians. Great show with Cindy last night. Funny and informative. Make it a great day. PlasmaFireGraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. Jeffrey, thank you for being there last night. Glad you enjoyed it. Cindy and I both had a blast. We had a super, super good time. And thank you to everyone who pitched in with the jokes. I found a couple of pages that I thought I would wind up reading all the jokes, to help Cindy, because Cindy, if she, she gets engaged and she reads really clean, funny jokes. And you guys were amazing last night. You did a great job. Oh, and I promised also some bit of news. I got called for jury duty. Yeah. I'm supposed to report in 1 week from today. So let's plan on there not being a Nevermind the Furthermore 1 week from today. I don't know anything more than I have to phone a number after 4:30 down at the Lafayette Courthouse. And then that will tell me whether I'm supposed to report in for jury duty or not. And I have no idea what it's about. And to be honest with you, I recognize it honestly as my civic duty, just like voting. And I was called for jury duty once back in Illinois. And after 2 days, it wound up that I didn't have to, they didn't have a case for me. I didn't even get interviewed, that they had, the way it works for those, at least if this is like Illinois. It's not like I'm going to be judging like any sort of major case or anything. But it's like, they have their docket of cases lined up for the immediate future. And then they select people from the community to be on those juries. and then those are scheduled and everything. But they only have X number of court trials because a number of them are just going to be like, here's the evidence. Okay, here's our argument against it. Okay, jury, and jury, what do you think? And then we're off to the races. And like I said, they never even found a panel for me. Never found a case for me in Illinois. And it could wind up being that way again. But I really want to do it, one, because, again, it's my civic duty. I don't think I should fight it. And it's not like I have a job that, I don't have a little bit of free time. And we'll see whether that affects broadcasting for the rest of the week on my end. But also, I've never undergone, if I get to, I've never been on a jury before and getting to weigh evidence and everything. Now, I was on a coroner's jury. And Champaign County sounds like they're fairly unique in this, but they had a once-a-month coroner's jury where people who died outside of a hospital, the coroner's jury determined whether that person, the person who died, warranted any sort of court case, like pardon me, should there be an investigation? Should we move forward? And, does this sound like a viable death? Like, for instance, we had a 67-year-old man who during a blizzard the previous winter had shoveled out his driveway and had a heart attack. He was declared DOA upon dead on arrival at the Champaign County Hospital. And, 67 years old had a heart attack. That's a natural cause. No mystery there. Of course, then again, we had a guy who was shot like half a dozen times in the chest and hurled through a plate glass window. And my reaction was, it could happen to anyone, so yeah, but the only purpose of that jury, I think, was to make sure that at least a dozen people got to eat donuts and drink coffee for a whole day. It was like being six again. It was great. But anyway, we'll keep you posted on the jury thing. And like I said, if I don't have to serve, then we'll, and I think I will. I think I will have to at least go in. But anyway, we'll work it out between now and then. All right. And Bill Field, good to see you, man. Howdy, gang. Howdy to you, Bill. My ombudsman is in the house. Good to see you, Bill. Hope you've been well. And hungry, says Carl Witzman. Need calories. Looks around office. No food, but spots the bourbon. No, bourbon has calories. It has calories, and it's made from grains, healthful grains, which are good for you, which help your cholesterol. Carl, I say dive right in. And Lee Reese, good to see you this morning, sir. Good morning. Pardon me, what's wrong with me? Anyway, good morning, Brian, and all you Nevermorians. Been out for a while, but I'm tuning in now. Looking forward to a great show. Well, we hope we can deliver one to you. Good Lord. The pressure is on. Lee Reese is a great artist, and I hope you're doing well, my friend. I haven't had enough coffee. That's it. And I can't think of a funnier way to... Oh, is it your birthday? Bill, please, everyone wish Bill Field a happy birthday. Bill and I know each other from a publication called Kappa Alpha, where I was the central mailer for 2 years and somehow escaped alive. But anyway, Bill is a great guy, great comic historian. Please give that man some love. He is terrific. And speaking of terrific and someone deserves love, Amy Hale. Mwah, great interview yesterday on TED Talks with Amy Hale. You were amazing as always, and I'm still going through Neuroses. I mean, your book, not just my own. But anyway, still reading that and enjoying the hell out of it. And love you, Amy. Hope you're doing well. And Jobby Pika, hey there, friends and foes. Happy New Comics Day. Happy New Comics Day to you, my friend. And may our hunt be bountiful. Hey, I saw a book yesterday. And I made myself a note because I'm going to have them get it for me. It is available through Diamond. And I think this is something you and I will really dig. I don't remember the name of the company, but it's called The Heroes Union #1. And it is written by Roger Stern, drawn by Ron Friends and Sal Buscema. And I think it's in the current Diamond catalog. And I'm going to make sure I get that. It's like $4.99 and 48 pages. And anyway, Roger Stern, for those of you who don't know, we'll probably talk a little about it tomorrow on Comic Book Spectrum. But Roger Stern was a former Marvel editor, former fan writer. He's written a couple of novels, including the novelization of the Death of Superman sequence. And he's been a writer on like Superman, Starman, the Avengers, and wrote what is arguably the greatest Spider-Man story ever produced, The Kid Who Collected Spider-Man. He's an incredible writer, and I've met him a couple times in person. He's a really good guy. So that's one I think we ought to put on our pull list, John. Make sure our local shop gets it. So anyway, hope you're doing well, and check out Back of the Cereal Box on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, and check out the plethora of shows that John's got on his network too. He is growing like gangbusters, and I am so proud of him. I really am. And see you on TED Talks Timepieces Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, modifying a watch. See you there, says Ted Davies Artistry. I know how to modify a watch. I usually get mad and strike it with a hammer several times. And hello, everyone, from Carleen. Mwah, darling, glad to have you here as always. Hope your morning's going well. And Carl says he might have some bourbon in his office. You may want to tackle him. And good morning, ladies and germs, says Grant Lankard. Always a pleasure, Beowulf creator you. I finally got to watch Clever Tile Pending because Angie had a ladies' night out. Well, good for her. She ought to have one every Tuesday, maybe every Thursday, too, at 7 p.m., if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, no, good for Angie. Good for Angie. Excuse me. And, I've had those nights alone, too, and it only reminds me how hopelessly lost I am without my honey. The last one I had was probably about, it had been 2014. I remember. Cookie had gotten a job over here in Lafayette, and they had a morning meeting. Well, at the time we were still living in Champaign, which was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from her job. And she's like, I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock. I'm not going to get up at 4 o'clock to leave at 5 and drive all that way in the dark just for a damn meeting. So we had a friend who was already over here, and Cookie got to spend the night with her, had a little girls' night out, which she has said she enjoyed. And then I was left to my own devices. Of course, I was still getting the house ready to be sold and everything. So I got some painting done, but I went out and bought me one of those $5 Little Caesars pizzas. And, that was going to be my lunch, dinner, and breakfast for the next morning. And and Cookie has an allergy to beer. And I mean, like severe reaction. And so I bought myself like a dozen bottles of different beers. And it taught me how vile I hadn't had beer in a lot of years. And it taught me how vile some of them were. I did like one called Arrogant Bastard Ale. In fact, I still have the bottle. The label is hilarious. It's more or less like, we brew a superior drink. What makes you think you're worthy to have it, sort of thing. And how I only like Guinness from the tap, properly poured. Found a couple I did enjoy, but a lot of these beers are like, oh God, I spent money on this. But anyway, hope you had a good time. Glad you enjoyed last night's show, Grant. And we had a lot of fun. We try to have fun. And next week will be Morgan S. Connick will be back on. And she's going to have a brand new book out by then. And we're going to talk about new book release. How does she handle it? And it's something I think all of us, whether we do comics or whatever, novels, whatever, probably stand to pick up a tip or two. So please check her out. And she's a charming lady. I love her to death. I know her from the Toy Man shows in St. Louis, so please check out the show this coming Tuesday. And hello, Mike, Jimmy, Lorsha DeBruin. Hello, Nevermorians. Hello to you, my young man. Good to see you here. You're amazing. Excuse me. And hope you're having a good day. And Bill Sarton, good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Brian and fellow Nevermorians. I always tell everyone to count your blessings. I have one to share with you. Yesterday, my colonoscopy went well with nothing to worry about, and I don't have to have another one for 10 years. That's great. That is good news, Bill. And good on you for getting it. Like I said, I've never had one because I've heard enough about it. It scares the hell out of me. And not what they might find, just the fact they're doing it. But I went with the non-invasive one, and I'm perfectly happy to do that every 2 or 3, 4 years, whatever. But anyway, good for you, Bill. Good for you. And I'm glad you got a clean bill of health because we need you on this planet a lot A lot of years. And Modifying Watch, holy moly, Ted. Yeah, Carl Winsman. And hashtag Bring Cookie Home. Thank you, Bill Sarn. Appreciate that. And is she still asleep, Grant? Asked Carl Winsman. And morning all from the desk of a small press publisher, Jody McPhee. Thank you for being on the, in the audience last night. Great comments and questions. Always a pleasure to have you on. And also, don't forget, Cindy Kep has this Kickstarter campaign. And let's see. She's got 52 backers. And did I make a miscount? I don't know, maybe I did. But anyway, no, I didn't. I did make, I got to share this. I've got to share this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Check this out. And look at that. 3446 for a $3,400 goal. Congratulations, Cindy Kep. Congratulations to you, everyone. Please, if you talk to her today, congratulate her on making her mark. Now let's push her over that mark so that she has to make up stretch goals. Let's force her to make up stretch goals. Let's put her to the screws to her. But anyway, congratulations to Cindy Kep. I am so indescribably proud of her. She has run a fantastic campaign. In fact, we've had some really good campaigns coming through the show. Like Matt Knowles had a great campaign, an astounding 5-figure response, and some really clever thank you gifts. And also to Eric Hawkins, who is still raising money for the Zombieful World of Oz. He is currently up to $5,326 with 145 backers. And let's see if we can get him up to $6,000 and force him to come up with another stretch goal. Does he have? I'm checking on his page here now. And everything's unlocked. And there's a $7,000 goal. Let's get him up to that. But anyway, Cindy, we are so proud of you, darling. You did so good, so very good. And thank you to everyone, sincerely. Excuse me. Thank you to everyone who helped with that. That is so very cool that Cindy made her goal. And let's get her way up there. And really help her out here. And here we go. And I just had a comment dump because I was so excited to see what happened with Cindy. Anyway, there we go. Caught up and backing right now. Mike Jimmy, thank you so much. I think you're the one who put her over the top. Thank you so much, brother. And you'll love it. Animal is an all ages comic book. And it's kind of cyber in that it's about a game being e-game being tested, and you get to see a lot of it from the point of view of the players who have become animals. And it's number one of a 6-issue series, and with this first one, you know that it's going to get a green light. And if you tuned in last night to Clever Title Pending, you saw that there are many plans, including this becoming a real game. So this kind of support does help. And to Ninja Genko, good morning to you. Cindy is freaking awesome. Is she not? She really is. I mean, I met her at a show about 2-3 years ago in Iowa, and she's kind of quiet and everything. And she's very reserved. You could see that last night. But she's hilarious. She's absolutely hilarious and one of the kindest people on this planet. So thank you. This is Rising Tide, people. Thank you so much for helping her out. This makes me so happy. And Davey says, Carl, calm down. Just removing some unwanted printing on a watch. Okay. And yep, she got funded. Yes, Mike Jimmy, thank you for your part. Thank you, everyone who helped that up. And Angie's up now, Carl. She doesn't have to be at work till this afternoon, fortunately. Well, very cool. And clean your room. Pops is checking and decking, says Comic Stock with Pops fan saying, Pops, good to see you this morning, brother. Hope you had a great night last night. Hope your day is looking good too. Hey, and Pops, thank you for getting Cindy's campaign kicked off. I think between the two of us, we made the needle move. Good for you. And for the Decimal Small Press Publisher, decking, you already had fisticuffs, Pops? Dear Lord. Who has pissed you off now? And Comic Stock with Pops Van Zandt says, good morning, my friends. It is a great Wednesday. I'll be live, Pops Unscripted at 2 p.m. Eastern, being interviewed by 24 Eyes. What's he wear, like 6 pair of glasses? What? Anyway, I'll have to try to get home in time for that. I've got some errands to run this afternoon. Today is New Comics Day, remember? So anyway, Pops, good to see that. And check it out. And please sign up for Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube. He deserves a lot of people. And McGann doesn't age. He bathes in the blood of virgins and politicians since Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Yeah, I notice he does not. He's just like immortal. There's something about him. I think that he's also slaying his competitors. There can be only one. I was thinking last night, Doctor Who doesn't seem to have hurt his career either. You read about actors who get typecast, but McGann, I don't think that hurt his career one bit. In fact, he's got like an international following and lots of love. And he's been doing shows for several years now, where I read in several places that he had, I guess, the equivalent of stage fright. That he had done like stage plays and pantomimes and stuff, but he found his nerves were really overwhelming. That's why he preferred like film and TV. But yeah, he's and the good point was made last night. He's aged well, and I think he looks more doctory now than ever. But yeah, it was a good time last night talking about Paul McGann and the 1996 Doctor Who television movie. That's what it's officially called now. Anyway, Carl Wesman says Sydney did great last night. Then she was talking about not pandering to the lowest common denominator, and I realized that I am the lowest common denominator. Say what, Carl? As long as I am around, you will never be the lowest. Okay. And when such a soiled soul such as mine is recommending Animal Eye, it's good. But no, and I respect that. In fact, like I said, I don't use a whole lot of obscenity in my own work. I put in a couple. I think I used the S word, maybe. And I called somebody an SOB in there. And I think that's the worst I did. And I told the story about how I submitted a story to somebody and they liked it a lot. But then they came back to me 2 months later and said, could we put in a dirty word? Other people are putting one in there, so yours is going to stand out. I don't need to put dirty words in my stuff unless I want to. Excuse me. And I think the pollen counts up again. Anyway, Jimmy Lorsha de Bruin says, if you haven't signed up to Life on Korra number 4 yet, you really should. Fairies and Ants is back again with the 4th installment following creatures of all kinds on a world as unique as they get. Check it out. Going on right now on Indiegogo. Let's give this man some love, too. He is a fantastic contributor, and I like the look of it. I am definitely going to have to check that out, my friend. I think I do. And Michaela Jane says, found my first snake in the grass this year, but did it have to be a big one? I see snakes in the grass all the time. It's called internet broadcasting, right, Pops? Anyway, and Glenn B. Fleming, who I love. Glenn, so glad to see you last night on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Hey, Brian, Comics Unlimited 6 and Hatch are now on Amazon. Please check out Amazon. Now, he's got the UK Amazon link, but it's also available in America too. So check out Amazon.com for the work of Glenn B. Fleming. This man has got a library like you would not believe. He is totally amazing. Glenn, so glad to have you here, brother. And Grant Lankert says, hey, I'll be at Three Rivers Comic Convention at Waterfront Mall in Homestead, PA, half hour outside of Pittsburgh, 12 to 7 Saturday and Sunday, open 10 a.m. with a VIP ticket. That sounds like fun. I love mall shows. I really do. I think those are probably some of my favorites. We had some in the Midwest, like Silcon, and there's an indie author book expo in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Iowa, later on this year. Unfortunately, I'm already booked to another show where I've actually paid for the table. So, but anyway, it's good to see, man. I can't let us know how it went, Grant, please. And good morning, Willow Schuyler. Mwah, how is everyone today? How are you, darling? Haven't had a chance to check out if you've promoted us. I know you have, and I want to thank you as always, and thank you to the Hanging with Web Show Network for allowing us to piggyback with them. And in my bra you go, says Michaela Jade. I have more snakes to find. Well, if you feel something slithering in there, it's probably me. Anyway, Bill Sargent says, Cindy Cap, I just pledged and want to congratulate you now on making your goal. Thank you. Then you're the one who got us over the top. Well, there's still room for more people. And they are $46 over their goal of $3,400. 100. But what I like to see, you see, inevitably some people will drop out, and because life happens, sometimes an unexpected expense comes up, or there are other reasons, but inevitably somebody may drop out. So we want to get Cindy as far above 3,400 as we possibly can. That's the next level, because then if somebody drops out with like a $15 or $20 pledge, she'll still get her money at the end of the campaign. So we got to do that for her. And the Peppermint Princess has arrived. Yes, she has. And Willow will be selling that apron on eBay. No, wait a second. eBay has just recently said they're not going to sell that type of thing anymore. So, Carl, I guess you and I are just going to have to like fight over it, have an arm wrestling campaign for it. Anyway, Grant Lankard says, I'm hoping that since this is the first convention in the Pittsburgh area in almost 16 months, that people will be jonesing for a convention. I did one. Eric Hawkins will back me up on this. We both did one in Hannibal, Missouri, about a month ago. And when, and it was amazing. We had people, wanting to come in before the show officially started. Excuse me. People are hungry for shows. And I think for at least the next 4 or 5 months, shows that are happening right now will do well, and so will the people in them. So good luck, Grant. Seriously, good luck. I want a report from you after it's done, okay? And Willow Schuyler, even with having the most hated video on your channel, it still gets all the views. Yes! Oh, darling. I saw that. That was hilarious. I've got to get over there. I saw it when you posted it on Facebook. I've got to get over on YouTube and give it some love. Maybe make some rude comments if you don't mind. I'm sure you don't. But yeah... Yeah, Willow has done a pro-vaccination video that apparently has got the Tin Hat crowd in a tizzy, and their tears are my wine. You know what I'm saying, Willow? If it weren't for the fact that I'm a public personality, I would be posting more stuff like that and trying to rile as many people as I can. I mean, the people that write back are the reason we can't have herd immunity. So when they say, well, everybody's going to get herd immunity, so I don't have to take the vaccine. Well, no, not if you don't take your vaccine, Nimrod. So Bob's Van says, Michaela, the yard is full of snakes. It's whacking day. Oh, my God. Pops is in a violent mood. We're all about whacking, right, Christian? Anyway, the Legend of Traveling Tar says, I have snakes to find. And then Christian died. Let's see, do we still have it here, or did we leave it at the old place? Oh, I guess we don't have it anymore. Darn it, I had a comment. I had a card for that. I've got to find that and reload that. And how can anyone hate Willow? Only people with souls as dark as a coal mine in midnight. People who their heart beats like a cancer inside their breast. You know what I'm saying? Willow is one of the most lovable and loving people I know. And anyone who dislikes her or hates her is not a friend of mine. That is all there is to it. And Ryan Permison says, good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? I'm well. Hope you're doing well too, Ryan. And thank you for showing up last night on Clever Tile Penning with Cindy Cap. And got the one and done vaccine yesterday, and the staff was very respectful. All I have is a sore arm and tiredness. Thanks be to God, I am still alive. And not only that, dude, you're going to survive. And I don't know what the incubation period is on the Johnson & Johnson shot, but my understanding is that like the Moderna and the Pfizer are both 3 weeks, so you are on your way to wellness. And if you do have like a little symptom every now and then, all that means is that the thing is really working and you needed it, okay? And I'm seeing reports. We like to share the good news too. The early reports are that the 3 main vaccines do seem to be somewhat effective towards the variants of the mutations of the Myshorona Miley-Cyrus. And I cannot wait till the day when I will say Myshorona Miley-Cyrus and people go, oh yeah, I remember he used to talk about that. I want this to become a trivia question as fast as possible. And what I'm really looking forward to, though, there are a group of people who, like the First Amendment frauditors, who, like the sovereign citizens, basically confront people in their workplace and raise all kinds of hell for them enforcing the mask mandates, which is their job, and they don't have a say in it. But these people, for YouTube views, they put it on, and all their moron friends who think that the nanites aren't good for you. Start, oh yeah, you're right. We don't wear a mask because we have a First Amendment and 28th Amendment right to breathe free. Nobody's charging you to breathe, dumbass. Anyway, but they harass people who are just doing their jobs. I find that unconscionable. And but the thing is, now with the restrictions being brought up because of the people like you, Ryan, like most of us who have contributed to the overall wellness of the world, that because of us, those morons get to take their masks off. But now they won't have a way to make money off of confronting people about the masks because that's lifting. So they're going to lose their income. I love it. Anyway, thank you, Ryan, for getting your shot. And sincerely, brother, I'm glad that you have come out of it well. I'm glad you got that done in one. And check out the latest episode of the podcast, the Rocky franchise on Anchor FM, the Nerdcast. You got to get it, episode 99. Looking forward to 100 and 100 more. And Grant Lacker says, I'm thinking about going to see Mortal Kombat despite never playing the game for no other reason than I haven't been to a movie theater in a year and a half. Yeah. I admit, I've started to, I'm not really big on theaters anymore, mostly because, I can't drink anything because I'll go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. I'm so old. But anyway, I find myself looking at the listings going, I wonder what's playing. I can't say there's anything I really want to see at the moment, really desperately. There was the Angelina Jolie movie I was thinking about, mostly because I love Angelina Jolie. She's a great actress, and she ain't hard on the eyes, that's for sure. But yeah, I find myself thinking the same thing. There are all kinds of things, the old normal, that I would just want to try again. And one thing we are talking about, Nick Tockard and I, is some sort of library thing in our area. Nick's wife, Amanda, is one of the librarians at the Fowler, Indiana library, where I've done a couple shows there, and it's a wonderful place, and the staff there are amazing. I love those people dearly. But we're talking about doing possibly, it's tentatively called FezCon. I'm hoping we can find a better name for it, because I don't want it to be about me. But we, are going to get some like-minded people set up, and if we make some sales, fine. But the best part is we'll at least spend a day together. Because I, like last time, met a couple new friends and got to hang out with Nick and Amanda and Lacey Lemke. So, if that isn't a good day, I don't know what the hell could be. It sure made my day. And Christian Basil. Oh, I've got to get ready for this. This is going to be good. Here we go. Arise, Wednesday morning hump monster, arise! Alas, do not the gods of the boob tube suppress this show. Make the magical algorithms rise and get more needed attention that the hump monster needs. Also, the tech glitch that I had last night transmitted the show to every platform except the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS Facebook page. Oh no, ultimate ouchies. So I took the painstaking task of uploading the video this morning, but losing that audience still kills me. Oh, hashtag podcast pains. Hashtag bring Cookie home. Hashtag Michaela Jade, I have a snake for you. I bet you do. Oh, his throbbing python of love. But anyway, oh man. Well, Christian, I understand. We try so hard to make this thing work. And I know you were stressing last night. That's why I was trying to behave. I know what you're going through. But I think this last week, I don't think I've had a show I haven't made a mistake on. Like Thursday night, I forgot to hit the transmit button on the show, on Comic Book Spectrum. And then I had that glitch Monday after I had a Microsoft update, and then like a Windows 10 update, and then there was something going on with Chrome, and they weren't talking, so I had to do some finagling. I am so proud of myself for figuring out the thing and still getting on the air. I was very pleased with myself. So, that's the thing. I tell people, whether you do this right or you don't, just do it, and nobody is going to like, well, I'm never watching them again. They can't run a proper show. My audience is growing. I'm evidence that you can run a bad show, at least technically, and still get good people like you and the rest of the Nevermorians. And then what was it? Oh, and then last night I was having trouble because I forgot to upload Cindy's spot, Cindy Cap's ad, up to see, I've got all my shows on different tabs in StreamYard, and I forgot to load it up to the Clever Tile Pending tab, and so I had to switch to the show to Nevermind the Furthermore to run her ad, and then back in, it was just a mess. It was just one more thing to do, but I understand, Christian. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. So, but you got through it, man. You got through it, and the last night was a great show. So I think it's worth the effort. I really do. And for the National Small Press Publisher, these next two show on my end are going to be unique. Going international, have Jake Twister from Indie Volt this Saturday and Glenn B. Fleming the following Saturday. That's going to be fun. I actually got to speak to Jake the other night. I was on Indie Volt. They were taking their victory lap for Indie Volt Revolt sequential art. And thank you to everyone who pledged to that one too on Indiegogo. That is going to be a good book. I'm so looking forward to it myself. I supported it, and you've got two great guests there, dude. I love it. I totally love it. I'm going to be tuning in. And Ryan Permison says, subscribe to the channel today for great nerdy content. Definitely give that channel, the Nerd Culture channel, some love. Definitely. And Brian and Jury Duty, wow, hope you don't get picked. It's one of those things, Joe, that I honestly, if I don't get picked, I don't get picked. I'll probably get $20 for it, if nothing else. That's a couple coffees, dude. But I mostly want the experience, And like I said, this may sound corny, but I do consider it my civic duty. I have been blessed in so many ways that at worst, this is just an inconvenience. And if nothing else, do you think I can't write about juries now from their point of view? It's a blessing, dude. So I'm honestly on the fence. I'm not on the fence about it. I almost said that, but I'm honestly, I won't be unhappy if I don't get picked, but I won't be unhappy if I am. So, but anyway, but no, I'd like to be on just because I want to keep the programs going. So, we'll just see what happens, and I will keep everyone posted. And Tuesday night, I will probably post something about what's going to happen. And Carl Wisman, Brian is going to serve on a jury. Hey, Donna, get the crowbar out again. We might have to host a show. I'm going to have to pay you off, Carl. I really do. And the real John B. Pica, thank you for skipping around. Show up at jury duty in the fez and bow tie. You'll never be seated. No, honestly, I have a feeling if I let them know that I've taken the local Citizens Academy twice, I think they're going to be fighting to get me out of the building, is what it is. The Citizens Academy, for those of you who don't know, is a program that our local police department put on, where for 10 weeks we are given the background on everything from dispatch to canines to undercover to forensics to the legal rules that govern the police, which I found the most fascinating, actually, as the most fascinating aspect of the 10 weeks. And then I get my picture taken with the mayor. How's that? But anyway, I think if they find out that, especially any prosecution, if they find that out, I'm out. They'll probably be calling the bailiff to escort me out of the building. But anyway, if they, we'll see what happens. And honestly, I'm not unhappy about it. And like I said, I don't care either way, but I'll make the best of it. We'll get lemonade out of it. And imagine the terror of being on trial and seeing a fez poking out of the jury box. Not sure if that would terrify me or relieve me. I'm not sure it will make anyone feel happy, I'm sure. And I've got I could wear my steampunk hats. That would probably not endear me to either side either. So, and like I said, it'll all wind up in a story someday. And Michaela Jade is mocking Pops Van Zandt with her laughter, but it's loving, I'm sure. And tune in live Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, and I quote, is a great show with special guest Distance Nerding co-host Philippe Terry. Oh, check it out there on YouTube. Check out Ryan's work. He runs a great show. That's going to be fun, and I will be on there next month. It will be fun. And do you know you're not allowed to vote not guilty in the defendant? You do know that you're not allowed to vote not guilty if the defendant is a pretty girl, right, Brian? Huh? Where'd you learn that, Grant? We gotta have a talk, dude. They wear, if they wind up, looking like Michaela or Willow, and they're sitting in the, I don't care who they are. I'm like, they're not guilty. At least not yet. Anyway, Ryan Permison says, summer reading recommendations, send him the link via DM and share. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much for sharing the show. Please share the show and like it. And if you're on Facebook, please like the page you're watching on as a thank you to them. And please like and subscribe on YouTube because we are over 500 subscribers. Thank you very much. And we are now moving towards 1,000 because Christian Basil, even though we don't mind looking at his backside, we're tired of being behind him. Anyway, Carl Weston says, on possible religious grounds, they might not excuse you because of the fez, so that's out. Yeah, probably excusing me because of the fez would probably constitute some sort of religious bigotry. So yeah, good point, Grant. Carl Weston, yeah. And Grant wants to send pretty girls to prison. I've seen Skunk Rocker. Haven't you seen those movies, the Linda Blair things and all? Man, that's the good times. If I ever commit a crime, I want to be sent to a women's prison. That's all there is to it. And Willow Schuyler says, how to get more views for your YouTube channel. Post a video disproving a conspiracy that an elementary science class can easily disprove. Wait for your video to shoot up in view count for hours. Maybe I should share that on my page, because I could use the views. Hey, Christian Basil, you were looking for a way to increase your views. I think we've got it here. And the one, the only Brian Rodman. Good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. The hump of days has arrived. Let us rejoice and tune into the Dastardly Dingoes live tonight with Luke Stone. Tonight with myself, Chad Nuss, and Jeremy Woodring. Head to that address there for the shenanigans. I'm going to have to remember that. That's going to be a good time because I love Luke. I love you guys. That's going to be fun. You need a heckler. Hi there. Anyway, John B. Pica says, I polled Facebook groups yesterday and asked, would you watch a YouTube show 100% free of toxic fandom? And the overwhelming answer was no, that is boring. Oh, man. Screw that. And it would be easy for us to introduce elements of toxic fandom. But look at Cindy Kep last night. She talked about not pandering to Carl and myself. I mean, the lowest common denominator in terms of vulgarity and violent content. She can at least look at herself in the mirror every night and say, I done good today. There is something to sticking to your guns. And John, I promise you, is, arm in arm, man. I refuse to give in to toxic fandom. I really do. I see too much of it. And that means that there are some people out there with, 4-figure, 5-figure, 6-figure YouTube subscriptions. But I don't want to feed that beast. I don't want to be part of the division of comics fandom. I want to be part of what brings it together. And I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. I'd bet the mortgage money on it. And the fact that we are doing well, you and I, with the kind of comic shows we do. Also Sunday Morning Funnies with Randy Zimmerman on the Indie Bolt Network. That does well. And we don't have to try to stir the pot to make people watching us because we're, pissing them off. They can go someplace else for that. So maybe I need to embrace and promote Comicsgate to get more viewers. You could try it. And John, I will say, and this is going to be one of the few times we mention Comicsgate on here. There is a faction of Comicsgate that is not EVS. And EVS is gaming the system is what it is. He knows what he's doing. He's one of those that he knows if he stirs the pot, he gets views. there is a section of Comicsgate I have learned, in all fairness, although I do not support Comicsgate, nor do I support their opponents. I actually believe in both sides. That's the libertarian in me, I suppose. But anyway, there is a faction that does support good comics, that does support proper broadcasting. Luke Stone is part of it. He is openly, I'm not revealing anything because he's openly said it. Pops Van Zandt just openly came out and talked about his alliance with them. So I would suggest talk to Luke, talk to Pops, and see about getting in with that group. I don't know that I want to declare because, like I said, I don't believe in one to the exclusion of the other. Do I believe legacy characters should be honored? Yes, indeed I do. Should a character be remolded to fit a demographic? No, I don't believe in that. Create a brand new character. But by the same token, I do believe in inclusion. I think comics needs fewer people like me. Although I would like to see older people be represented. That's why I love the legacy heroes like Jay Garrick and Alan Scott. And Alan Scott, like I talked about last week on Comic Book Spectrum, that is changing a character, but it makes a certain amount of sense. And they came up with an idea that I think, if handled with proper sensitivity and skill, could be powerful. I really do. I'm kind of looking forward to it. But as for joining a group to increase views, the only one I'm joining is the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And if I got tired of it, I'd beg to be in yours, John. Seriously. So anyway, that's the end of our soapbox for today. And Grant Lankard, I know most people want to avoid jury duty, but I've always thought it might be interesting. That's what I'm thinking too. Because to my understanding, I doubt I'm going to get any sort of case where I'm going to have to be sequestered. I will say that I probably will not be talking about it for the duration of my service. So if I do get to do broadcast, well, actually, I think I won't be able to broadcast while I'm on jury duty. So if it takes a while, I may have to be nice to my co-host or something. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll keep you all posted, and we will be posting on my page, my personal page, Rising Tide Broadcasting page, and the Rising Tide Publications page, whatever happens. And at YouTube, Back of the Cereal Box, check out that channel. Please subscribe to that too, because John B. Pica's doing it, and it's awesome. And fight it, John B. Pica. Fight the urge to join a side. I agree. Now, like I was starting to say, there is a faction that works more towards the center rather than the far one wing or the far other wing. And if I had to throw in with one or the other, I would find the moderate wing. If I absolutely had to pick one or the other, I'd be out of the race. In fact, Eric Hawkins and I had a talk a while back where we were seeing a lot of factions, siding up and sounding like they're ready for a fight. And I told Eric, I don't know that I want to create comics anymore. If I have to choose a side, and he said, I'm not. Why are you? And I'm like, okay, good point. So we can still do it. And from the Decimal Small Press Publisher, he's laughing with Willow, saying, good point, Willow. I saw that video. I saw it too. I think it was genius. You did a great job. And happy B-Day, Bill Field. My honest was and happy birthday to Bill Field. Thank you, Carl. Or Ted Davies Artistry. And thank you for that great show yesterday with Amy Hale. You were fantastic. And Carl Witzman, I needed to start a private prison for all the pretty girls that Grant is sending to jail. Yeah, there we go. I'm in charge of I'll be the guy that scrubbed the showers if you want. And Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt, Lee Reese. He is the man who created the CromCon ad. Oh, that's right. That's a work of art. That Lee, you did great on that. And love that dude. Oh yeah, don't blame you. And he's got to wear the fez and the bow tie. Well, yeah. How can you have one without the other? And happy birthday, Bill, from Amy Hale. Grant Lanker says, you would be the warden, Carl. And Carl says, on another topic, I'll be starting a B-grade film later. Ooh, I want to hear more. And yes, Grant, I am, says Carl Witzman. From the desk of a small press publisher, Grant, jury duty sometimes is a waste of time. Most of the time you are waiting around to see if they need you. But if you get to the selection process, it does get interesting. Oh, I take it you have served on jury, Joe. That's interesting. I mean, I know what to expect. I do know what to expect. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to get any case where I'm, spending the night in a motel or anything. But I might get fed. That'd be nice. And I'll probably get an hour off for lunch or something. But it's like, but I remember the first time I was called for regular possible jury duty. It was like 2 days, and the first day was mostly briefing on what we might have to do, reinforcing that there ain't an easy way to get out of it. Not that I was trying to. And then the second day we sat around for interviews. And I think that took up most of the afternoon, and because I had an 8 to 4 job at the time, actually 8 to 4:30, and office job with the water company, and we got out about 2:30, I think it was. So I called my boss and said, "Hey, listen, do you want me to come back to the office? It's only like 10 minutes. I'll be there, and I'll hang out for a couple hours." And he goes, "Nah, just take the rest of the day off. The company's paying you for it anyway." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So yeah, I'm looking forward to the experience one way or the other. And again, I think everyone, if you are called for jury duty, it's part of your civic duty. It's like voting. It helps the community, and it helps things run. That's how the machine gets working. So I'm looking forward to the experience either way. The Heroes Reunion looks great, says John B. Pica. Ron Friends did the prequel series on Comixology, and it is awesome. Ron Friends, aside from being a really nice guy, I've met him a couple times at shows. He is one of my favorite artists, actually, and he has this wonderful, in my opinion, wonderful style that's a beautiful blend between Jack Kirby and John Buscema. He knows how to make that blend work. And I loved his Spider-Girl. That is one of my favorite books ever. Scott Crocker says, I've been called for jury duty 3 times, and each time I know there's a moment where I'm not going to be on the jury. I just know it because they'll ask me something, and I'll be honest. And that's the thing. I'm going to be honest. If they want to know that I support the police, I'll tell them. And as soon as that honesty comes out, they look at me like, nah, we don't need this guy in our jury. I have a feeling that's going to be the case with me if it gets around to it. One time when I was in questioning for jury, they asked me if I ever rented from a storage facility before. And I was like, yeah, we used it for practice space for bands, and everybody chipped in. And it was like the moment I mentioned I was a musician, they were like, no, we don't need this guy in the jury at all. Yeah, if they ask me if I'm a writer, yes, I'm a freelance novelist. I've just released a book on crime. You may have found the way to get me out of a skunk if I decided to. Oh, man. But I'm sure they'll ask what I do. And I'm sure freelance writer and part-time journalist is not going to be high on their list of wanted people, because chances are I'm going to treat it like the play 12 Angry Men. So it'll be a little more drama than the legal system can handle, but thank you for that, skunk. I love you, man. And I love Molly Daniels. Great news. daughter-in-law is in labor. Sometime today we will welcome Miss Isabel Rose, granddaughter number 2, into the family. Oh, Molly, that's great news. Mwah, thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. Please give Mom a hug from me. All right, and all of us. And she'll be going, who are these people? Why are they all wanting to touch me? But anyway, that's great news, Molly. Thank you for sharing that. And during jury duty, says Christian Basil, Brian, I always want to see someone fry in the electric chair. Judge, this is a parking ticket case, Mr. Morse. Brian, fry him like a Cajun catfish, and that's how you get out jury duty. Yeah, and I have a phrase that I have picked up: 30 days in the electric chair. That's what I support. Well, and the thing is, like I said, I don't know of anything going on in the community, because I do read local news sites to keep up on things, and I don't know of too many things. We do have a couple serious cases, and I will say there is one there's one pending case right now actually a couple, I think, involving potential child molesting, and they won't want me on the jury. I mean, I'll listen to the evidence and I'll be fair about it, but Talk about 30 days in the electric chair. I fully support that. I'd like to see the guy do the 10,000 volt boogie. And Carl Westman says, great, Molly. Oh, totally agreed. That is fantastic. And if you don't want to be that on the jury, Brian, I would use the tactic explained in Jello Biafra's spoken word piece about his obscenity trial. Yes, I remember that. Oh my God, yes. I love Jello Biafra. I really do. That is fantastic. Thank you, Skunk. Thank you. And congrats, Molly from Willow Schuyler. And the Skunk Cracker says, when they ask you if you have a reason why you can't be a fair and impartial jury, just tell them, yeah, all cops are liars. Or actually, I think if I went the opposite direction, too, it's like, well, if they shoot somebody, I figure they had it coming. So, we don't have any cases like that, though, at the moment. So, and Molly Daniel, it's mostly people shooting each other. So, anyway, I'm getting, hi, honey. Oh, yeah. Thank you, dear. You're welcome. Appreciate it. Everybody's telling me how to get out of jury duty. Show up in the fez and bow tie for one thing.
Well, if that's all you're wearing.
Well, they didn't say I had to wear anything else, honey. So,
right,
yeah.
But I don't think the fez and bow tie, just wearing that would keep you out of it. Unless you were only wearing...
I may be late that night, honey. I may be needing a trial myself.
Remember, our budget does not allow for paying bonds.
It's been nice seeing you, honey. Thank you, dear. Anyway, Molly Dang is currently at Denny's celebrating a little early. Nothing wrong with a little celebration right now. And you may need the calories as you pace the waiting room. And that's great on the exam. Bill Sarden, I agree. Carl Wisman, good deal. And congrats, Cindy. And the Legend of Traveling. Way to go, Cindy. I mean, our girl did it. Our girl did it. And it's not like it's over. Please, she's still got 19 days to go. And please support Cindy Kep on Animal Eye, the all ages anthropomorphic comic. It's a little bit anthropomorphic. It's a little bit cyberpunk. It is good stuff. I've read it. It is awesome. And we are way behind. I don't care. We're having fun. And let's see. I've got some big. Oh, you're here. Oh, you're here. Oh, you're here. This is great. I can't wait to catch up. And let's see here. Oh, you're here. Excellent. And Brian Robin says, Cindy Kep, congratulations. You rock. Way to go, Cindy. Oh, feel the love. I hope you're listening, Cindy. And yes, Cindy from Comics Talk with Pops Van Zan. And back in the cereal box, someone needs to give Brian another thumbs down just so that solitary one isn't so sad and lonely like the giver. Yeah, I think they're sad and lonely anyway, at least sad. And congrats, Cindy from Grant Lankern. Back of the cereal box says, speaking of thumbs up or thumbs down, we welcome each for back of the cereal box. Hey, it's still engagement, right? And the thing is, here's the funny part, is that unless they've subscribed to the channel, if they subscribe, I got them anyway. And if they haven't subscribed, it's harder to find me. I don't show up in searches. So they've got to look for me. I think it's hilarious. And Mark Lerner, greetings from the prairie. Professor Mark, it is good to see you as always. Much love to you and the family. Hope you're doing well. And Bill Sarden says, I can't wait to get my Animal Eye comic coffee cup and brand new 1978 Chrysler Cordoba. Wait, what do you mean there's no Chrysler Cordoba? Serious, sincere congrats to Cindy Kep. I think the Chrysler Cordoba is at the $10,000 level. So if you up your pledge a little, Bill, that would be greatly appreciated. And good job, Cindy. She has done a great job with this, Carl. And thank you to everyone who has shared her promotion, which we are not out of the woods. We're going to keep doing it. And did Brian call me a snake, or was he inferring I am a snake hunter? Whacking day. That's what it is. I'd see you as a snake hunter, buddy. And God knows there are enough snakes out there. And John B. Pica says the Huntsville Comic and Toy, or excuse me, the Huntsville Comics and Pop Culture Comic-Con was wall-to-wall people. Yeah, we had the same thing in Hannibal, Missouri. So, yeah, and I'm glad to see it. And everyone's taking precautions, too. And I've not been online much lately, says Amy Hill, and I feel like I've missed so much. You haven't missed a damn thing, Amy. But the only part that's worth going online for is Creative as Hail every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Last week, I've got to watch the last week's because you had Jason Nugent. I love the guy. And this week, he'll have another great guest. Talk it up, Amy. Talk it up. And whack, whack, whack. There's a lot of whacking here from Pops Van Zandt. And so for anyone following, I started week 2 of my transformational journey, and I'm already down 2 belt sizes. John B. Pica, I am so proud of you, brother. I recognize that I have lost a little ground myself, and so I've started going back on the regimen. It's not a really strong regimen, but I lost about 30 pounds that way. It was just mostly dietary changes. I'm back on that wagon again, so I'm looking forward to being a, what is it they used to say on the Bonzo Dog Band? Once I was a 2 stone apology, now I am, or once I was a 1 stone apology, now I'm a 2 separate gorillas, that sort of thing. And John, I caught you, man. I was catching you. I'm your safety net. And because the nutritional supplements I'm taking taste so awful, I learned how to chug 8 ounces in 1 gulp. Yeah, I take a number of multivitamins right now, and specific things. I take a lot of fish oil for my cholesterol, and it has helped. My cholesterol's finally under control. But it's about half a dozen different pills, some of whom it would probably murder a horse if they swallowed it sideways. And I've learned to down all those things with 1 gulp. And and suddenly Christian Basil's paying attention to me now. And either way, we still love you, Pops. We do. Michaela, she speaks for us all, Pops. You are loved. You always have a place here. And good Hump Day morning, Rising Tide Broadcast Network. You're my favorite. I love you. And if you brought me coffee, I'd love you about what Cookie does. But anyway, love you, Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please subscribe to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Give that page a like on Facebook. And speaking of movies, you really must see Mitchell's versus the Machine on Netflix. It is fantastic. Oh man, there are so many good things on Netflix and HBO Plus and Disney Plus that I'd never getting work done. I'm barely getting enough work done as it is. And Grant, if you like horror movies, go see Spiral. It's getting mixed reviews right now, so you might like it. That's cool. And Robert Beatty, your body, your choice, my body, my choice. I'm not going to yank anybody's chain, and I just expect the same in return. We will yank chains on this because, and I respect your opinion. I really do, Robert. But, we're not going to get herd immunity until we get enough people getting the vaccine and getting safe about it. So that is my position on this, and I'm going to stick about it. I still love you, brother. And Glenn B. Fleming, England has now got the new Indian variant of COVID sweeping through the country. Did they close the airports? Don't be silly. Why do that? Sorry to get political. Don't feel bad. We did the same thing, and the Indian variant is showing up in this country too. But I read an article yesterday that several studies have found that the current 3 vaccines here in America, at least, are at least do seem to be effective against the variants so far. But I've also read that I think it's Moderna is going to be creating another shot for later in the year for flu season, and it'll be a follow-up shot with the RNA that will help us get put the 2 main variants under control. And then it'll also include the flu variant for us. So do you guys have flu shots over there? That's a curious thing. I was just wondering. And thanks for making my afternoon break filled with awesome folks, Brian. Hey, Mike, thank you. Mike, Jimmy, thank you for being one of them, dude. You're crazy talented, and I love you, man. And we got to get you on the show sometime. And Porn Sack Hawkins reporting for duty, sir. Good to have you, Porn Sack. And if you want to find out why we call him Porn Sack, check out the last couple weeks episodes of Comic Book Spectrum, where the Captain Eric Porn Sack Hawkins. It sounds like a majestic ship sailing right over the edge of the world. Thank you. That's to all the flat earthers. Anyway, Eric, we're glad you're here. Have a great day, my friend. O'Brien, Mighty Manatee Man here. I am plotting also far more interesting plots for after that. We will talk. I thought it was you, Manatee Man. I felt that warmth of your flippered embrace. I could tell it was you. I'm glad to have you here, man, as always. And YouTube had issues last night. Several streams were throwing errors for viewers. Wow. And, I think we had a momentary glitch last night on my end, too. But I think that might have also been local internet. But anyway, we are back and rocking. And when I was a kid, since back of the cereal box, the back of the cereal box was portal to all the things I love. So our show seeks to recapture the fun of our youth while forging new adventures in adulthood. You should subscribe. I fully agree. I am a subscriber. And I've been a better person for it. No, seriously, I love John's shows. I really do. Seeped in nostalgia and good commentary and a lot of fun. Seriously. So I endorse back the cereal box for what that's worth. But definitely check it out. It's a great show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Plus, he has other shows featuring the delightful Kelly Gutner, who I adore, and a whole bunch of people I adore. So, check it out. Check out what John's doing. John's got some really good stuff going. And Michaela, I love all you guys too. Well, 99% of you Pops fans. I'm still in the room. I can hear you, you know. I know about your loathing for me. I am not happy with the thumbs down person just saying. Yeah, and you know, the thing is, like I said, they do that. It still counts as interaction. And if it gives them a little warm feeling inside, let them have their 2 seconds of happiness. You know, it doesn't bother me, especially when I have more people that like me that don't. And I've got the right people that like me. And the people that don't like me are the wrong people. It's all right. Eric Hawkins says, I haven't been able to do a Monday show. I'm usually on. My mic is picking up feedback, but only on Mondays and only through that Discord channel. That is, well, yeah, I don't do anything through Discord or Twitch. Well, maybe Discord is living up to its name. Who knows? But yeah, that's weird. I wonder why it's only that one channel. Bill Sarton says, join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on Facebook Sartonart76 for better days from yesteryear. His snazzy, jazzy sketches and perpetually powerful prints are always available for purchase, safe and securely through PayPal. Plus, I'm currently open to do commissions again, so check out the artwork of Bill Sarton, where everything old is new again. Good place to be. Good place to be. Oh, and by the way, you mentioned PayPal. Right now, various cryptocurrency is in the news, and PayPal now allows you to purchase cryptocurrency. I actually own not quite $100 worth of cryptocurrency right now, just on a whim. And I bought with my own money. I didn't ask any of my subscribers to pay for it. I paid for it myself. But you know, and it's one of those things, only invest as much as you can stand to lose. And right now I'm running even on it. At one point I doubled my money. Actually, I think I'm still a little bit profitable, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, as long as you don't take it seriously like real money. And Comics Talk with Pops and Sanchez, consider it extra interaction and a healthy laugh. Exactly, Mike, Jimmy. And the thing is, we get the last laugh. We really do, because it's not hurting us. And if they want to do it as a protest against the show, that's perfectly all right. And we'll continue. But the thing is, it's not going to slow us down. And if we find out the specific hot button, we'll do more of it. So anyway, Nice Joe says, Comic Talk with Pops fans, and hey, Mike, and hey, Pops. Everyone's saying hello, and I like that. And everyone in the courtroom gets paid except the jury. Always bugged me. Money should not be part of judgment. I think in Illinois, the jury did get it was like $20 a day or something like that. It was something ridiculous. It certainly wouldn't have encouraged anyone to. I think it was more or less for mileage more than anything. But at least, you know, it may vary state by state. And Pops Van Zandt continues, I do not mean semi-compensated for your time. I mean gets paid. Lawyers, judges, etc. The lawyers always get paid. That's all there is to it. And judges are lawyers too. So, you know, they're, you know, in any sort of legal confrontation, the only people who are going to get ahead are the lawyers. And Mike Jimmy agrees, Pops. But then again, most wouldn't be able to afford to be there if they didn't get paid for the day. Derp. I misread. We all misread all the time. We do it all the time. And nullify the most important word in a juror box. Everyone should know what it means. And Robert Bay says, having a hard time deciding between Superman Celebration or meeting the godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. Both take place a week apart. Oh, man. That is a definite hard decision. To be honest with you, and I know how you love Superman like I do, I'd go for Alice Cooper, to be honest. Alice is getting up there. And I have a couple friends that saw have seen his concerts, and he is amazing from what I hear. He's one of the guys I'd love to see in concert. You know, you never, you know, like I said, I hate to sound negative, but, you know, Alice he's not just 18 anymore. I'd go to see that because there will be another Superman celebration next year. I think it would be something memorable. I really do. And Eric Hawkins, tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum, I will try not to rant how Hollywood has just destroyed my favorite character for the last 40 years with the new Snake Eyes movie. Arr! Brian Clyde, I think we now have a way to get Eric fired up. This could be fun. Anyway, no, I kind of roll my eyes on that one too. But anyway, we do talk about comics. We've got some really interesting information. Saw something about Marvel Comics, in fact, that I might want to bring up. We always talk during the week about possible topics, and I do have something. There is something being reported about DC Comics that I saw where it came from. And it's the same one that said that the guy from Breaking Bad was going to play Lex Luthor, which I refuse to even go to verify it. It is basically a fake news site for comics, pretty much. They come up with something and they get by on the views, the clicks, and so I refuse to honor them in any way because I notice they're the only ones that are saying it, but everyone's picking up on it like they're a legitimate news source, which they aren't. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about, as always, so please check out Comic Book Spectrum every Thursday at 7 p.m. with myself, the Eric Hawkins, the Clyde Hall, and the Brian Rodman. And come heckle away, my friend Dastardly Dingoes, live with Luke Stone at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to have to set my alarm for that. I'd love to see it because you guys are great. And back in the Zero Box, but Toxic Fandom shows like Yellow Flash 2 and Fantastic Frankie have huge followers. Well, what's the price of your soul, John? That's all I've got to ask. I would rather not give in to those idiots. I don't want them following me, and I don't want them following my friends. But your mileage may vary. And Mike Jimmy Delorcia says, why make a dramatic show on YouTube when there's people doing it for the hosts anyway? We need the love more than anything. Thank you. And that's the thing. Our tagline is, do you love comics? We do too. And we genuinely do. We do love comics. I mean, yeah, we are mean to a few of them, but and a couple of Erics have taken flight, if you know what I mean. And I've dropped a couple on the floor. But for the most part, we love comics, and when we are slightly negative about comics, we find good things about them, and we just celebrate the fact that they're being made, and we enjoy that, and we love that people are doing it not just in the mainstream, but also the independent crowd as well. And there is one thing. We have not reviewed too many comics. We are not going to review Kickstarter, or I should say comics that are being crowdfunded currently. The thing is with a comic book, it has to be available right now. So if someone were to hear our review and say, I want that book, they should be able to immediately get it or place an order for it, like whether it's on Comixology or a dedicated website, or even calling their comic shop to order it through Diamond or whoever is the distributor this week. Although Penguin Random House has just really made a move this week. It might be worth talking about. But anyway, we want it to be immediate, and we want to have an immediate impact on that artist. And there are some that, frankly, pardon me. Pardon me again. Sorry you didn't get to hear it. It was good. Anyway, but no, we went, and we have had some comics. I have had some comics that fall across my desk that, the old thing about if you can't say anything nice, I won't say anything about them. And unfortunately, and some of them, the only one I think I've dinged was Superman of Metropolis. I was very disappointed in that book. Anyway, we try to be positive about it, Mike, Jimmy, and we appreciate that people like you support us. I really do. And anyone that does love comics, please check us out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Christian says, I think trying to tell a story without using adult language is a big challenge. My dad used to say, I don't know why they call it adult language. Even adults don't use it properly. Yeah, and I see so many that don't even know how to spell it right. But the thing is, like Cindy said, it is a challenge, and better writers can do it. I like to think I can. I just do it maybe for atmosphere, but I don't do it because I can't think of another word. Eric Hawkins says, fandom is toxic regardless. Some are just more toxic than others. Everyone states what they like and don't like. Well, I don't think just the statement of preference is a bad thing. But, I see too many people online who are like, I hate this comic because this creator is. Now, if the creator's a pedophile or an axe murderer, okay, yeah, that maybe should color your perception of them. But the work should stand on its own. I'm not saying we all go out and buy Charles Manson CDs or anything, but some people say, well, this is a terrible comic because so-and-so is SJW or Comicsgate, or this person wears a fez and a bow tie and has sideburns, so anything they produce is obviously crap. It's when the work can't get discussed. And I see too many people picking feuds and everything, and part of the rising above is rising above that. And I'd really like to see some genuinely talented people get out of that and stop making this a battle of personalities rather than, or battles between their cult of personality versus someone else, and just make some damn good comics, and quit wasting the energy and build some other people up so that we all can have great things to read. So there's just too much toxic fandom, though. I think we do agree on that. Grant Lager says, I'm going to get really good at coloring liquids. The page I'm working on has human blood, dragon blood, vomit, sweat, and fresh water. Are those the mediums you're using? Where does Dick Blix have dragon blood? Asking for a friend. And the madness has not changed. I will promote everyone who is cool to me. Pops Van Sant, that's it, exactly. And people that aren't shouldn't expect it. I agree. And there are too many people, and I know you get them like I do. There are too many people who just basically expect us to promote simply because they have a project. And I've had to tell several people, I don't care that you have something to sell. I care that you have something to say, however. And I've had people, it's like, well, you need to fit me into your schedule. I'm like, dude, like Clever Tile Pending, I'm booked out usually a couple of months. And right now is no exception. But they're like, but I've got this thing to sell. And I don't care. I really don't care. Even if I support it, I don't care, because this is a show of, my show is about creatives talking about creativity and the business behind it. And like last night, Cindy and I booked out a long time ago. And most of the time, if you've got a campaign and I think you might be interesting, we can work that in, but I'm not going to bump somebody for somebody else. And there are some people I will make exceptions and they'll be on the morning show. So, but that's the way that works. So, but we're in charge of our brand, right, Pops? And we're going to be taking care of the people that take care of us. And Molly Daniel says, in other news, my first Kinsey book turns 12 years old today. Where did the time go? Kinsey's now a teenager. Oh my gosh. Next thing you know, your books are going to be wanting to borrow the car, and they're going to be talking about dating. And that's going to get really uncomfortable, especially with Kinsey. It's like, Mom, he said he brings his own whips. Anyway, but no, congratulations, Molly. Congratulations. I realized a while back, Santastein is coming up on its 10th anniversary, and we are planning to do a special 10th anniversary edition. Grant Lager says, yeah, I don't know if doing a show without the toxic fandom is a bad idea. Is it possible to do a show without toxic fandom is a better question. We do our best every Thursday night. If we have any toxicity, I think we're pretty tame, compared to some shows I've seen. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people I like that are doing it, and it makes me sad. But yeah, it is possible. And if, for instance, if if Comic Book Spectrum never gets like a bazillion views because we aren't toxic, I think the four of us, maybe not Eric, but because I know he's out for global conquest, but I think the four of us could live with that, and probably pat ourselves on the back, knowing that we held the line. So, and if our show, if you're looking for toxic fandom and we can't provide it, then it's good. Good luck. Good life. Anyway, my personal decision has to do with how I have been treated personally. Nothing but love from Comic Skates, as Pops said. And see, that's the thing. I agree. And Pops, you know what I'm talking about. When people don't treat you right, when they don't treat you with respect, when they see you as nothing more as a way to promote themselves to the exclusion of others, and they show reprehensible behavior, frankly, in some cases, there is no need to support them at all. And I've got them in my former circles, and I know you do. So, Pops, like I said, I support you, Pops, because I know who Pops is, and regardless of what faction you side with, you're still my man, okay? And we're going to be doing this together, right? And good morning, Cindy Cap. Hey, Cindy, did you happen to look at your Kickstarter campaign recently? I'm going to refresh that. And on behalf of everyone here, thank you for a fantastic show last night on Clever Tile Pending. Please, everyone, watch that show. You will love it. And congratulations on your Kickstarter. I am so proud of you. And if you missed last night's Clever Title Pending, you should catch the rerun. You really should. Cindy is fantastic on it. And we had lots of jokes. And she just gave us a lot of stuff to mull over and think about. And she's awesome. But congratulations, Cindy. I am so freaking proud of you. I really am. And from the desk of a small press publisher, John B. Pica, let the show be an extension of you. Associations mean nothing. Most people watch shows based on if they like you or not. Let the chips fall based on how people see you. Exactly. And I know Joe D. McPhee would probably love to have several thousand subscribers, but he has a unique identity to his show that I love. I totally love it. And he is a terrific interviewer and a good guy. And his show is, I think it's one of those shows that nobody else could do it the way he could. And it's a beautiful thing. So I agree with you fully. I think, and honestly, I think people can see when you are being phony, which I see again on a lot of the SJWCG thing battles, that some people sign up with Comicsgate, like John said, they are supportive of their people. They are. I give them that. That's a beautiful thing about them. But they have also had people kind of like hook their wagons to them, and then the minute they don't need them, bail out. And that's not cool at all. I think people can see through that kind of thing. And finally, Hope from Denny's, by the way, no longer annoying the other customers with the volume on my phone. Well, tell them, hey, everyone at Denny's, please like, share, and subscribe to this show. We are on YouTube. We could use some more people. And good morning, Nevermorians, from Terry MacGyver. Good to see you. Have a pleasant day and a great second half of the week. You too, my friend. Thank you for being here. As always, glad to see you. And this. Yeah, definitely. And breaking news from the Rising Tide Broadcast Network newsroom. Breaking news, Nevermorian. Nicholas Anthony Tucker will be running the Hybrids, the Sons of God's quick play RPG, the 28th at 8 o'clock. Link to be revealed. Well, if I'm not sequestered, what is the 28th? What is the 28th? That is a Thursday night. Oh, dang. I might have to miss that because I've got my show. Send me a link anyway. Back of the cereal box, Grant. I think we do a pretty dang good job. I agree. We embrace the Rose Tico adage. We don't win by destroying things we hate. We win by saving the things we love. Exactly. I don't see you doing that, John. I don't think it's worth the price of your soul. And we should do a Rising Tide Broadcast and Book Comic-Con. And I've got ideas for that. I would really like to see us do that. And I'm thinking maybe Nick could be helpful in that regard. Because for some of, let's see, it would be a drive for you and Amy. For me and Nick, no challenge. Eric would have a far piece to go. I consider him part of the family. And trying to think, Heather would have a difficult time. Ted would be a challenge. He lives quite a distance away. Joe Dog, I think, would be out for him, but I understand why. Michaela, no problem. And yeah, but yeah, I think we could get at least most of us there, and we could do a show together. And I like the idea of doing a book. Would be, we ought to talk about that. Michaela, I think you and I ought to talk about that. I'm serious. Cindy Kep says, I've been summoned for jury duty 4 times, 3 in Texas, 1 here. 2 were traffic issues that I was picked for. 1 was canceled because one dude didn't show. The last here was a murder case that I wasn't picked for. Yeah, and we didn't have anything really challenging when I went through my the sorting hat of the Illinois legal system. Back in the day, this has probably been about 10 years, a little over 10 years ago. But I don't think we had any serious cases, but we do have a couple of serious cases here. I don't think we've got any murders, but I know we've got some gunplay stuff that may come up. And I think there is at least 1 child molestation case. So 30 days in the electric chair. And from the desk of a small press publisher, Joe says, I try my best to be neutral and be me. My show is an extension of that. I don't care about association. I do care about the character who comes on my show. It's 2 different things to me. I agree with that. And I would have Luke Stone on in a heartbeat. I'd have Pops on my show. I have Pops on my show sometime. I'd have them on, and I don't care about their associations. I just know the good work they do. But I'm also not going to turn it into a forum for that point of view. We're going to talk comics and creativity, and that's it. And, I really hope that these comic creators take a step back and realize that only the most obsessive fans are going to be the ones who care what political leanings they have, says Skunk Crocker. That's a good comment. I fully agree. And, again, I think it's kind of like what Cindy was saying about the lowest common denominator last night. The rest of us just want to read some damn good stories with damn good art, so stop bickering and do that. That's it. That's our stand, Skunk. Exactly. That's what we stand for. And Prison Tales from the Green Room. Yeah, there we go. That could liven up the Green Room, Pops, as if it needs help. And Animal Eye #1 funded $3,446 from a $3,400 goal. We are planning some interesting stretch goals. I cannot wait. Cindy, congratulations. I am proud of you, darling. Big hugs from afar. And Skunk Rocker continues. The same thing with the authors, too. Remember with that stupid sad puppies thing happened? Oh, yeah. I was like, who cares? Write good books and shut up. Yeah. And the whole blank gate thing, whatever fandom it is, it's like, we don't need that crap. We really don't. But we do need is Bill Sarton talking about the birds of the word. When you check out Cindy Kep's nice and nifty newsletter at CKOEPP.com, you'll be flying high after reading her excellent commentaries. That's never squawking. So sign up for Cindy's newsletter today. It's really something to tweet about. Definitely worth the squawkage there. And check out CKOEPP.com. Sign up for her free monthly newsletter. And way more interesting than jury duty are my books on Smashwords. Thank you. Ikisha Ikup says, I've gotten called 5 times for jury duty, but not once actually had to go. Well, like I said, I have a feeling they'll take one look at me here. I'm a freelance writer and part-time journalist, and they'll be like, okay, can somebody get the door for Mr. Morris? We don't want to slow him down. And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network says, less than 2 weeks will the crowdfunding succeed? Are people jumping on the historic opportunity? Are you answering the trash man's call? Check out The Killing Field, second part of the new story arc from Hybrids, The Sons of Gods by the great Luke Stone. You got to have that book. It is a great series. I am supporting it. It is a good series. And you get a chance to get a trash man, that's one of the characters, action figure. It is cool. And congrats, Cindy, from Amy Hale. And back to work in Overdrive for the Nebulizer, coming to Kickstarter Friday the 28th. I'll be sending out invites for a new event page since I can't access the original one, so be on the lookout today. Definitely. We got to get that thing launched in style. Eric Hawkins said recently a creator was arrested for underage stuff. He had been on all of the Comicsgate channels and now on the Drawn and Quarterly show I am on. No one knew of his secret life. Oh, we got to continue this, got to continue this, got to continue this, got to continue this. When the news broke, the big CG guy tried to tell everyone that the Drawn and Quarterly show and all the participants knew about the issues with this creator. He did this to avoid people finding out about how much this guy had been on his show and how he had said this guy was going to be the future of comics. Eric, send me that name, would you please? I am interested. I'm curious as hell. That's crazy. That's crazy. I could see taking the episodes with him down, if anything, or making them secret, or make them secret so you have to know the site to get in there. Make it some sort of perk. Hey, we've got the special child molesters level here, but yeah, that's ooh, yeah. I'm with you on that. Ick. Let's see. Now let's get back to where we were. And Eric, and let's see, here we go. Skunkcracker continues. You're more than welcome to post your political opinions, even in your own fiction if you want to, but don't make a big deal about it. And don't be all like, oh, you have to choose a side. That's dumb. Well, yeah, it's like I am a definite masker. I am a definite pro-vaccine, and that's my sword to die on. Most other things, and I'm against people killing each other. I'm against kids being molested. Go figure. But anyway, those are my stands. But for the most part, I don't make a big deal about my, personal beliefs. But there are some things I think are worthy of mentioning. But either way, I don't intend to make a big deal about it. If I take 5 minutes, that's longer than I actually intend to. And the Skunkcracker says, Mike Jimmy says to the Skunkcracker, exactly. If you let politics take part in your decision making, there's something wrong in my book. I agree. And this show hopefully will never be driven by that. Despite the host's radical views. And Comics Talk with Pop and Sand says, I've had to boot extreme people of both sides from the madness. It is about promotion and networking, period. Same as always. And that's the way we love it, Pops. You got a great show there, and you do a lot for the community, man. And if other people can't handle it, that's on them, not you. And also, stuff to read while you're waiting for jury selection on Amazon. Please pick up my book. 99 cents gets you Snow Ambition, the brand new book by me, available from Ben Books. And do wolves count as service dogs? Amanda Tucker could tell you on Amazon. And Brian Rodman says, head to Kickstarter and follow the nebulizer as we gear up for the launch. It's about a chronic asthmatic and his feisty AI-controlled nebulizer suit as they fight through a post-apocalyptic world filled with allergen mutants. It's like Bubble Boy meets I Am Legend. Check out bit.ly/the-neb1. Definitely, you gotta get that. I am so looking forward to that. I'm on that one. And it would be criminal to miss out on these books by Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tucker, who can teach you how to kill people safely with his Simple Sword and related books. And congratulations, Molly Daniels from Brian Rodman. And Animalize artist, says Cindy Kep, does other cool stuff too. Yeah, check it out. Check out her campaign. You're going to see some beautiful, beautiful art there. It is great stuff. And Cindy has already agreed to be back on a future episode of Clever Title Penny. You'll be glad to know. Anyway, and Molly is laughing at Christian. Fry him like a Cajun catfish. There we go. I am taking that. I'm taking that with me next Wednesday. And my next QuadCon adventure, says Cindy Kep, is at Davenport on Memorial Day weekend Saturday. Check out Quad City Con for a list of great shows there. And congrats, Molly, from Amy Hale. And I was off playing cookie. Had to make some more coffee and take some to Carly. Carl Witzman, that's why you're such a good husband. I do in the morning. I am the one who makes the first pot of coffee. Even if I'm warm in the bed and barely able to see, I stumble downstairs to the coffee pot for a cup of ambition. And Carl just brought me coffee too. That's because you're such a good girl, Carly. Or maybe it's because you're not, and that scores points with us too. She goes like, yeah, no kidding. Anyway. And we just had a comment dump here. Here we go. And let's see. And good reading while waiting for Molly's granddaughter. Check out John B. Pike, a brand new book, Night Reich, on Amazon from Seventh Star Press. You love it. And Carol Cookie Morris, she's the true star, just showed up here bringing Covfefe. And The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, you got to get that on that show. Check out last night's episode. I was pleased and proud to be a minor guest on there. And I'm sorry I keep having to leave, Christian, but whenever you need me, man, I will try to be there. I've only skipped out once. That was because I was having like a major pollen attack, that night. If you went back and watched the episode with Anna Maria Salvaggio, like I did earlier, I muted my mic when I had to sneeze. It's like the whole thing. I'm like, and people think, boy, he's nodding violently. He must really agree with her. No, I'm sneezing my lungs out. And you should go check out Dastardly Dingoes, especially tonight. It's going to be fun. And woot to you too, girl. You deserve it. And Fun Tales at Amy Hales. Check out the brand new book, Neuroses, a real thriller, and it's reading good. And Brian said the C word accidentally. Now it's a party. Yeah, prepare. I tell you, Brian, no one's canceled me. It's not like I haven't given them anything to work with. I figure they're lazy, or I'm not worth canceling, either one of the two. And Legend of Traveling TARDIS says, Pops, did you just say whacking day? This is more like whacking years, says Legend of Traveling TARDIS. Yeah, I've got a few candidates that need some whackage. And a new book to check out from Michaela Jade, the third part of her Warriors trilogy. Check it out. Some strong writing there. You'll love her. And very poetic, that is our own Teresa Dunn. Thank you for sharing it. Poetry Expressions, Volumes 1 and 2. And tonight, says Amy Hale, I'm a guest on Lynn Shaw's Two Girls and a Book Fangirl series. We're going to talk about the new book, Neurosis. Yeah, and I really loved listening to you yesterday on TED Talks with Amy Hale. And Amy, did you see Jenna Morisi's one of her latest videos talking about mental illness? I have not watched it yet, but I've bookmarked it. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I'm going to watch that. That might be interesting. And Molly Daniels, Amy Hale, so sorry I missed your chat yesterday. Phone was on the charger most of the day. I'll go over and catch up. Yeah, see, the stuff we do is just as good the next day. It's like leftovers. In fact, the flavors get to marry a little, and it's even tastier. And come talk with Pops. Definitely share the love with Pops Van Zandt, because he loves us too. And tomorrow night on Creative as Hail, we'll have product and food photographer Adrian Bell. That is awesome. Well, and I will watch on the rerun, Amy, as I always do, because our show's now starting to run long, and I'm sorry, but we definitely try to send as many people over to you as we can. Anyway, starting shortly after Brian's nudist courthouse visit, Nicholas Anthony Tockard, says the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, Nicholas Anthony Tockard will be renewing his live stream, Cannot Find the Furthermore. Likewise, the Historical Fencing Guild will feature knife fighting techniques from Folsom Prison to Shank. It's a verb. That is going to be fun. Anyway, check out Nick Tockard every Friday night on the Historical Fencing Guild. High energy. Love that show. I really pick up stuff from it. It is really good. And Christina, go with it one day at a time. And woohoo from Molly Daniels. And from Odessa, a small press publisher, says Cindy Kep, who was on that show recently. Check it out. It is so good. And Christian, go with it one day at a time. Christina, whoa. Well, that's his name on weekends, Pops, and that's how he can afford to have 52,000 people on his Facebook page. He's paid them all $1 at a time. I don't think I need to say more. And congratulations, Molly, from Michaela Jade. Much love from the Nevermorians to Molly. And to Cindy Cap, and out of break, thanks for your support of Animal Eye. Very exciting. Hey, we're excited for you. We want to see you go to the toppermost of the poppermost, as the Beatles used to say, so that it's not done yet. Well, I want to get you to 4,000, at least 4,000, and we're going to work on that. And check it out, please. If you haven't checked out Animal Eye on Kickstarter, please do that today. And nothing but love for you, Brian. Same for you, Robert. Same for you, man. I love you, man. We are on different sides of this issue, but I'm right. Anyway, Robert, no, I'm joking. Anyway, Christian's an illusionist, Jake Lindsay. It's a fallen world. There will always be diseases. It's going to get a lot worse when the 1,000 years begins. Okay, thank you. And hit me up anytime for a show, Brian. I'm always in for a chat. Well, send me a DM, man. You're long overdue, man. You're long overdue. Send me a DM. Let's start talking about it, because I've got some dates coming up. And we'll make sure, man, because I've seen you on the show. on like Indie Vold and stuff, and you're awesome. So let's get you on there. And Adriana R. Cherry, mwah, good to see you again. Good morning. Just stopping in for a second to say hi. And stay tuned. Cherry House Press will have a new name and brand soon. We can't wait to unveil it. And speaking of, I've got an art piece from Ariana myself. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, and Josh both. I'm still buzzing from the weekend, and Cookie is like, I didn't get to go. So we'll have to do it again. Anyway, back in the cereal box says, so we reviewed The Good Asian on Morning Mini Bites on Instagram, and I didn't have the same issues with porn sex writings that you all did. I loved it. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And it's, mixed reviews are a good thing. I like the point counterpoint thing. In fact, I thought for years that would make a good show where you have two people, one who liked the comic and one who absolutely detested it. Or at least each of them, one is like more positive than negative, the other one's more negative than positive. It could be interesting. I would like to see something like that. But anyway, I love the show I'm on, and I love John's shows. Anyway, Ariana R. Cherry says, and for some cool art, check out Full Moon art. And for poetry, check out the podcast and other fun stuff at arianacherry.me. Or not her, really. Anyway, and she goes, no, Ariana R. Cherry me. Notice, include the R. Don't let that fake Ariana Cherry lure you in with her wiles. Definitely check out Ariana R. Cherry, our Cherry. Anyway, and Luke Stone of Luke Stone Studios is seeking a new letterer. Oh, okay. Interesting. Cookie won't let me learn. Anyway, Scott Garger says, when I was called in for jury duty, you got paid for a full work day, $80 per day, whether you were selected or not. When we did it back in Illinois, we got like $20, but the company, on the other hand, it was kind of complicated. You had to send them you had to endorse the check that you got from the court and send it to the company, but you got to declare your jury day as a full day of work. So my company was very generous in that regard. It's just that they fired me. But anyway, I wouldn't be here if they hadn't. And Scott Carter, and that was back when minimum wage was only like $6, so you got paid pretty good. But since I didn't get selected, I would always go only for 1 or 2 days. I think, I think we were at $20 a day from the court, and it was more or less a stipend. Because Illinois is cheap. And Christian Jake, you need your own show. You really do. You ought to have your own show on YouTube. Seriously. And that's sad and lonely. Just got a friend, and that's fine. I'm glad. I hope they'll be very happy together. And Brian Robin, well, my past self is sensing that the show has now gone too far or too long because we are having way too much fun. That's a sure sign, Brian. We got to watch that. So go feed Cookie and feed yourself while you're at it. Brian, you've earned it. Hashtag bring Cookie home. Hashtag moo like an Australian cow. And hashtag while licking spines. Okay. This is for you, buddy. This is for you. And I'll do one of mine. That was for you, Brian. Love you, man. Anyway, check out Brian Rodman on Dastardly Dingoes tonight live with Luke Stone. That's going to be a fantastic show as always. I really love watching that show. These guys have so much fun. And tomorrow night, Brian will join Eric Hawkins and Clyde Hall and myself for Comic Book Spectrum. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Alice Cooper played at the Lafayette Jeff prom way back in the day, long before my prom. Wow. Was this when he was starting his career, or did Jeff have that much money? It's like, wow. Well, I did find out that 2 of the members of Guns N' Roses, including Axl Rose, are from Lafayette. And I've talked to people that went to school at the same time Axl Rose did. And they all say that I can't remember which member of the original band it was, said he was a great guy. But Axl was a true idiot. He was a total self-absorbed a-hole. And so when they read stuff that what goes on today, that they're not surprised in the least. And from the Decimal Small Press Publisher, again, I'm happy with my 85 subs. Why? They like the show and the view and interact. I'd rather grow organically than grow on controversy and be stale a few shows later. Yes. That's it. Well, and I'm up to 500, over 500 subscribers. Thank you to everyone, sincerely. And we've done it the same way. We've learned some tricks. I shouldn't say tricks, but ways to do this more efficiently to attract more viewers, to battle the algorithms. But it's been mostly organic growth. And I'm pleased with that. And plus, we've got great interaction. Like, how far behind do I get in the comments? Because we're talking with each other, right? And I lived in Phoenix for 35 years, says Pops Van Sant. Worked at Z-Rock. Do not call him Vincent. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Alice Cooper is a super nice guy, has a huge rock club downtown Phoenix, Cooperstown. Very approachable. I hear that, and I hear I read that he had, I don't know if he still does, but he had a restaurant down there and said it wasn't unusual for him to go through and be talking to people. Hey, I'm Alice. You liking the food? Hey, have a great day. And I also learned that before the great man died, Glenn Campbell was Alice's golf buddy. And the more I hear about Alice, the more I like him, because he seems like a genuinely good human being. And, the whole Prince of Darkness thing is a persona, of course. He's just acting. But, and I love his music. I have loved his music since I'm 18. Hit the airwaves. And the thing I love, and nobody will care about this, but I'm saying it anyway. The thing is, he had I think it was the Ballad of Dwight Fry on the same album as I'm 18, which is a great song. And then it kind of fades into a song called Sun Arise. And I love their version of it. Sun Arise was originally a follow-up single to Rolf Harris's Tie Me Kangaroo Down Sport. And it's a wonderful, wonderful song. If you ignore what Rolf Harris is in trouble for, but no, but Alice just knocked it out of the park. He was so good. And again, Christian Jake, I think you need to get your own channel for that. This is not going to be about religion on this show, but everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, and I agree with you, okay? And Rising Tide Broadcast Network, you love comics and skeletal horses, as it should be. That's right, skeletal horses. If you're not getting skeletal horses in your comics, take your comic back and demand a full refund. But no, you'll find out about skeletal horses when you tune into Comic Book Spectrum. And back in the Zero Box says, we love comics too. New comics, yum. And back issue Breakfast Club and Morning Mini Bites. I love that. And Pops Van Sant, I am a hype man promoter. I do not want to do reviews. Influencer is not my goal. Mine either, really. And however, if you ever need a guest panelist on CBS, you're on my list, John. Seriously, you and Joe and a couple others. If something were to happen to our regular crew, I would call you guys in a heartbeat. And I am sincere about that. But anyway, John B. Pica will be on a Clever Tile Pending soon too. And bless you again. Thank you, Pops. I apparently need it. And I agree on the reviews, says Mike Jimmy Lordship de Bruin. That's why even if I have people proofreading or wanting to pre-order outside of crowdfunders, it's all on my website and they get shipped at the same time as the crowdfund. That is excellent. I love seeing that. I seriously do, Mike Jimmy. I really do. Because it's taking care of our customers. And Pops in Maury voice, you're an influencer, says a small press publisher. Hype men are influencers. That comes with the job of promoting. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I just don't want to be like the YouTube promoters where it's like, I'm getting my fingernails painted in road tar. I think everyone should. And road tar on my fingernails. That'll be cool. That'll go along with the Gorilla Glue in your hair. And Skunk Cracker goes, there are no bad words. There are bad people and bad intentions, but words are words. Yeah, Skunk, but there are some words that people just don't want to hear, And it's a small price I pay to not unleash my full vocabulary, if you know what I mean. And Brian Rodman is dropping back in to say, go check out our Dastardly Dingoes podcast episode with Ted Davies. Oh my God, the Ted Davies. I'm aghast. I'm a lot of things. Anyway, we had an absolute blast with Ted talking about his story and the creative process at that address on the Dastardly Dingoes. Definitely check that show out. It's amazing. It really is. It's a lot of fun. And if they ever give you an invite, you say yes. Don't even ask. Don't put any qualifiers on. When do you want me? Time and place. And Ted Davies Artistry says, Brian Rodman, it was an amazingly fun time. And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network says, dangerous term around here, but death of the author needs to be a thing. I listen to a lot of musicians who I don't agree with their lifestyle, but I still enjoy the tunes. Yeah, same with me. I mean, I'm straight edge. I don't take drugs. I've never even smoked pot. Okay. And if you do, that's fine. I don't care. I really don't. But I'm not going to blast. I didn't stop listening to Wings just because Paul McCartney spent 10 days in jail for possession. You know, it doesn't matter to me. You know, that's sort of Phil Spector. I'm still working out my I still listen to Phil Spector songs, though. Is the thing, and that's about as bad as you get, murdering someone. God rest his soul. But anyway, from the Decibel Small Press, less than 30 minutes to Time to Feed Cookie. Yes, in fact, I'm past time. That's how much fun we've had with the conversations. And Joe, I do promote everyone and hype everyone. Reviews are different. That is acting like my opinion should be your opinion. Well, Pops, no, the thing is, I think, if nothing else, and I don't want to segue into the term gatekeeping, but the fact is that we have an opinion and a certain amount of expertise. And if people appreciate our opinion, we can use that to benefit the projects that we definitely want people to see. By the same token, if there are some projects that are like, ew, we can use our voice to say, folks, you may not agree with me, but here's this this steaming pile of crap. Although on our show, I've had several books that have, like I said, that I have seen that I think the worst thing I can do is not mention them. That's my getting back at them. And Comic Sock Pops Van Zandt says, I do not want to affect your non-sales. I want to affect your sales. Exactly. See, that should be the goal. Amy Hill says, I've written with adult language and without. Yeah, crap. Both have their audiences. I've gotten criticisms over the word crap because it's not necessary in good writing, which always makes me laugh. I've also gotten criticisms for the same word because I was told in the real world most people say crap is a bad word. So I write in language I feel the characters would realistically use. Yeah, and you also have to keep your audience in mind. You probably have a more mature audience than a lot of people, so yeah, they can handle that sort of thing. And I see in a lot of ways where adult language could inhibit my reach. So I am very selective where I use bad words, and there are certain lines in the language barrier that I will not cross. And if I do cross them, it will not be in my real name. I will use my pen name for it. So, which is what it's for. But otherwise, I'm with you. There are times when it is useful. In Snow Ambition, my new book from Ben Books, only 99 cents from Amazon. Get it today. I do use a couple of words. I call someone an SOB, but the moment when you read why, you'll understand. Okay. But anyway, I agree, Amy. I totally agree. And everyone congratulate Cindy again. Definitely. Oh, definitely. Way to go, Cindy. Rising Tide Broadcast Network on Facebook says, update. Nick Tuckard will be GMing the Hybrids RPG Quick Play 8 p.m. the 29th on Red Valkyrie Presents on YouTube. As soon as I know. Excellent. Thank you for that newsroom event. And same here, Amy. When my Arbor U series was being edited, editor wanted me to smut it up. I refused because I have 12-year-old girls reading it. Yes, there we go. Always be aware of the end user. Keep your audience in mind. Comics Talk, I have granddaughters. I want them to be able to read some things. Yeah, exactly. And Lee Reese says, I just try to stay neutral with everyone and promote the projects I personally like. And that's what we try to do. And I try to do that on this show, on Comic Book Spectrum, on anything. And I'm never going to have somebody on Clever Tile Pending that I don't like. And I don't agree with their creativity. So, and my show is called TED Talks, not TED Talks Trash. If I'm interested in interviewing you, you'll know it, and it will be a positive experience always. Ted, you definitely deliver on that. You really do. And Mike, Jimmy DeLorcia de Bruin, Lee Reese, exactly the same. I want quality and fun, not worry about association. High fives to you, Mike, Jimmy. We are totally on the same page. And good point, Pops, but hype has the same effect without adding opinions. And Lee Reese agrees with Mike. And the date is the 29th. Typo Demon, be gone. If it's the 29th, I'm out then too. I'm in Peoria. Just make it happen, okay? Anyway, send me the link and I'll see what my schedule is. Anyway, true Joe, but hype is I haven't seen it either most of the time, but if I have, it isn't like people don't know I like the book, but reviews, I'll like it or not picking it apart. Pops Van Zandt, I agree. That's not what our show is for either. I completely agree with that. And after surviving COVID, says the back of the cereal box, I decided I no longer care about politics or social idiot issues. I about said social idiots, but sometimes it's the same thing. I only care about telling good stories and sharing the fun. I'm with you. And Eric Hawkins is at 5,326 with 145 backers. 6 days left before the Zombiful World of Oz on Kickstarter. Check it out. That is also a book I wholly recommend. I am a supporter of it, and it's a good book, so please check it out. And better shut off comments. You're never going to catch up. Yeah, I know, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And we are going to cut it off at a certain point. And Terry McIver says, currently learning video editing and adding new skills to my graphic design on my day off. Being productive for a change. Good for you. I need to learn more video editing, at least simple stuff. I feel I should be able to. And great show as always, and congrats again to Cindy Cat for reaching her Kickstarter goal. Much deserved. Via con Dios amigos. Bill Sarn, thank you for being here. Sarnard 76, the artwork of Bill Sarn, where everything old is new again. And Terry McIver, tune in this evening to the Hanging on the Web TV for Mark Knows Everyone, featuring lights, thunder, action shows own resident God of Thunder, Thomas Carter Rochester. Definitely check that out. Thank you, Terry, for sharing that. And thanks, Amy and Michaela. Just now saw those. William Quinton, good morning. Almost noon, everyone. It is past noon right now. William, glad you're here. Hope you're having a great day so far. And everyone's saying hi to him. And Mike, Jimmy, hope you're having a great day. And oh, yes, it's a wonderful time. Hope it's the same for you. I agree. And have a great day, Brian and everyone. Thanks for all I do. That's right. You should be proud of that humility. Anyway, thank you, brother. Glad you're here. Have a great day. Everyone have a good day. You too, Carl, especially you. And Keisha Akov, have a good day, everyone. Mwah, darling, you have a great one as well. And I'm on the road to 400. Pops, I hope you pass me up soon. I really do. And Molly Daniel says, Axel was a total thorn in my mom's side. She once rescued him from being stuffed in a gym locker. Yes, I have 1 degree separation from Axel Rose. I'd be building a brick wall on that. I really would. And Time to Feed Cookie, don't die. See you Thursday for Comic Spectrum. See you then. And definitely check out From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher Saturday night at 10 o'clock. He's always got great interviews. He is fantastic. Dave Pratt, Radio Jock, Alice Cooper, Charles Barkley, and Glenn Campbell. We're in a tee box ahead of us once. Funniest foursome ever. I can imagine that would be a hoot. Man, that's the time to have a cell phone. And Comic Stop Mike Jimmy Delicious says to Bob's fans that we got to get you to 1K already. Yeah. And me too. Anyway, Scott Clark says 12:01. Man, and so it's time to say it. Don't die, feed cookie. And would you look at that? YouTube didn't need any of my comments today. Well, congratulations, Skunk. See, we put the. Here. I know, honey. I can smell it. I'm working at it. I have a broadcast empire to run. I did not need your mocking laughter, woman. I can apply my own. And no argument here, Mike. And Mike Jimmy Delorcia is smiling as, and I'm going to put road tar on my nails now. Start a new trend now. Congratulations. And don't forget, it's the gravel that makes it. You know what I'm saying? And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network says, I snagged Comic Book Lettering the Comic Craft Way. It is an interesting read, but ironically, convoluted layout. Yeah, it's, I find that too. It's a little difficult to read. It's taken me several tries to get through it, but it's entertaining. It's an entertaining read, and it's like, you're never going to get a better lesson than that. Now, DC put out a book of lettering several years ago. It is unfortunately out of print, and unfortunately, the secondary market has priced it accordingly. I got a copy of it, but it's a good read too, and a little simpler to understand, but just the same. I say poop, darn, and pickle paste. My cursing is awesome. Keisha, I'm going to have to turn you over my knee, young lady, for that kind of talk. And all I can say is, you don't like my language? Sorry, but that's my character. If you think my language is bad, don't bother getting my adult content books available on Lulu. Definitely get them. You need them. You need to learn those words, people. Carleen, I love you. Mwah. And what I do on the air is different than my private broadcasting, as you know from having seen me in the green room. I swear like a Marine on leave. And as the last goodbye note, Life on Core number 4 is on 23 email signups so far. We're giving 30 to 40% discount on any physical pre-orders plus £8 or $10 shipping to the US, UK, and European Union. Mike, Jimmy, that is splendid. That's something we should talk about when we get together. Seriously. And on CromCon, Brian and company will be on 2 places at once. Yes, I will. I believe it's 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. Michaela and I and the rest of the Nevermorians will be broadcasting from the Indie Author Book Expo in Peoria, Illinois. Please come see us either virtually or in person. And Carly mocks Keisha with her laughter. And Comics Talk, the sign of a great show. The comments keep coming. Brian is the master. You should know, Pops. You get it too. And snuck in under the radar. There we go. And William, I'm working at the moment, but wanted to pop on. I wish everyone a good day and fun times. You too, my man. And check out 47 Furious Tales by William. It's a great, great read. And got to run. Got a client to take care of. Well, you have a good day, John. Thank you for being here, brother. And Mike, Jimmy, Dolores, I like that. I'm mangling everything today and almost caught up. You all have a great day. Bob says, even the thumbs down duo piece. Agreed. And Molly Daniels DIL is still only dilated at 6 centimeters. We'll share update Friday morning. We will have Molly will have live broadcasting of the dilation today. Tune in to YouTube. That should make for an interesting day. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for great conversations. As always, folks, you guys totally rock. And like I said, I want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check out our Facebook page and give it a like and follow our news if you would. And we've got your entertainment and education handled 7 days a week, a variety of fantastic shows, of which I like to think this is one. And we've got, let's see, what's coming up today, Wednesday. Tomorrow we've got 10 a.m. TED Talks timepieces where he's going to redo a watch he doesn't like the look of. And then at 7 p.m., we've got Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman, reviewing latest comics and talking about the industry, past, present, and future. And then followed by Amy Hale on another, she and her husband John do another incredible Creative as Hale. Please check it out with a food photographer. That's going to be fun. And then at 9 p.m. is Joe Dog McKeel with Stupid O'Clock, and the Skunk Rocker will be there, and all kinds of cool guests and great conversations. So definitely check that out. You'll be glad you did. I'll be glad you did too. And Swearing, says the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, is like hot sauce. It enhances some content, but is out of place on others, and overuse can ruin your palate. And thanks for the great show again, Brian. See you next time. You bet, Mike Jimmy. Thank you for being here, guy. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you to everyone. And also thank you to our patrons. Right there, these are people that subscribe to Patreon, where for a modest monthly sum, you can directly support your favorite creators, but you also get cool stuff in return, like, say, a mention on every broadcast I do, maybe mentions in my publications, and a look at my once a week blog. Every blog deserves a name, as well as sneak peeks of my works in progress and actual ability to download some of my work directly into your computer. So definitely get your pooter working and go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Can't talk anymore, need more coffee, and see what we can offer to you. And thank you so much for that. And thank you to all my patrons, and thank you to everyone who has bought a copy of Snow Ambition, my brand new publication from Ben Books based on the Bobby Nash characters. Please check that out. It's a good read, real fast read. It's really fast paced, and it has my usual plot twists and twisted senses of humor. So definitely check that out. And so everyone, thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for the great conversation, and hope you all have a great hump day or new comic day. Definitely support your local comic monger. And as always, you guys are the greatest, and I feel confident in saying that. Okay. I'll get in a moment, honey. We're signing off. My cookie has brought my lunch. So anyway, we are signing off. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. That's just what you are. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you Friday. We'll see you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum. And then again Friday on a fresh episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm. Condemned Courier. The Yerushalayim series. And Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kepp at CKOEPP.com today.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.